Vikram stood alone in the pre-dawn darkness, inspecting his plane. Between his fingers he held the tailing end of a sky-blue streamer, denoting the flight leader. It was attached to his plane this morning. Oberleutnant Kalter had been scheduled to lead, but had taken suddenly ill the night before and been stricken from the roster. Amidst a smattering of corporals and other lieutenants, none could approach Vikram's seniority. Most of the younger ones adored him and would no doubt have raised hell had he been passed over. Passed over again, and again, for promotion. He knew that much, and didn't particularly mind. He'd angered a lot of people at the start of the war, which was a time that now felt inconceivably distant. Either way, there would be lots of young men around him, lots of young men to bring back home. And to make matters worse, with a thinning Russian resistance, command was getting bold and had ordered attacks to be carried out on enemy auxiliaries, railways, transportation, troop concentrations, and supply dumps. The only things that were still well defended, and the most dangerous missions left. Vikram let the streamer drop from his hand, inspected the machine guns, looked for signs of wear or cracks in the spars. Ailerons were moving easily. He'd feel every loss as keenly as a blade between his ribs. But he wasn't sure he'd feel the thrill of victory, regardless of the outcome. It was all just a senseless gamble at this point. And here we are again. First man has started his engine. I do believe I saw second and third sets of propellers come online, so here we go. We are rolling out, and we have to be mindful of a very strong crosswind from the left. We'll make sure to pick up plenty of speed before we take off. That was no problem at all. Just ease off on the rudder. And we are airborne. Now, if I'm not mistaken, we pretty much head straight east from here. So let's give them some commands. Do like me. I want you chaps on my right wing. And while we weave a little bit back and forth, we are flying a DVA and they are on the Albatros D2, I believe. Let's take this opportunity to chat just briefly on the subject of my channel. As you might have noticed in the past few days, I have turned my attentions towards live streams of, well, Rise of Flight for one, but also and primarily IL-2. Both filming regular multiplayer sessions, which Kayla and I do every week. And also actual careers as a sort of more light-hearted versions of this, where I can do a career and I can play a couple of missions. I can talk to you a lot, and without having to go through the whole like record videos, do all the audio checks, edit it for 2 days, render it for a day, upload it for another, etc., etc. Which is fun, and this is very important. I absolutely intend to keep doing that. Vikram is not going to die because I started live streaming. In fact, it probably won't affect the amount of content or the sorry, let me just check my heading. It won't affect the amount of content that you get in any negative way. In fact, it'd probably be quite the opposite, since live streaming is so much easier and I can literally just record any old thing without having to prep a lot beforehand. Odds are that you'll see a lot more content. But the number of like pre-prepared videos with either Reginald and Wolver and Pot Lockett or Vikram will stay roughly the same. I haven't had as much time doing that as I did before because I've been sick. It's not likely to change anytime soon, which means that I can't put out like a Vikram video a week probably as I used to. But you guys should be well familiar with that story by now. However, with the streaming, I can put out content of some kind every week. Easily, in fact. I could probably put out several videos a week, or several streams a week. So unless you guys have some strong opinions against it, and I haven't heard anything so far, but do let me know if you feel this is a terrible idea. I would very much like to keep streaming more or less regularly, and also, of course, keep doing Vikram, because I love these. Well, that's the general gist of it. Some of you were, of course, understandably expressing some fear that I would replace the current content with the new, and that's not the case. I have no intention of doing that. Although, if this chat rams me, who knows? So do let me know. I hate doing the let me know in the comments below. Do let me know in the comments below if you have any particular opinions on this, or what kind of content you'd like to see streamed. Frankly, at the moment, I don't really have a plan. I just stream whatever comes to mind. I'm running the Italian campaign with the Marquis right now because I lost a bunch of people from the other campaigns. And some regular multiplayer stuff, but I might do something more involved if there is a demand. Anyway, the squadron is all caught up, well and good. For those of you that hate to hear me talk about IL-2 while we're flying, I'll get back into the World War I mindset right now. Let's see. We are heading out for that peninsula there. With the little... Are we perhaps too far north? Yes, indeed we are. We should have that little island off our left wing as we cross the forest, which is dead ahead. Let's see. There's a town on our left here, which should be Lovana. If we just keep our heading east, I'll probably afford to jump the throttle a little bit and head to the south. Thereabouts on the other side. we should find that target. And I don't know exactly what the target is.
Actually, that's that strange U. We're closer than I thought. That's the U shape that you can see over here, I believe. And then the target should be at the just on the other side of that point of that peninsula. All right. Yes, I see my mistake. I saw this and believed it was this, but it's this thing that I didn't see. Very well. My squad mates must think I'm drunk. This is a very short mission, but I fear it might be a deadly one, as we have been sent on ground attack. And ground attack in Rise of Flight is the most dangerous thing you could possibly do. Unless you're cruising at in a level bomber at 5,000 feet or more. I see 2 railway bridges. And they might be shipping stuff across those bridges. But for some strange reason, what they've chosen to send up is 4 fighter aircraft armed only with Spandau machine guns. And there is absolutely nothing in here that we can do about it. If only we'd had at least some bombs. But no. Send up the fighters, they say. I'll have to remember to close the radiators before I start the dive. I am flying the DVA, which is a little bit more resistant to dive speeds than the D2 and 3. But I'm not sure I want to put that to the test. And at any rate, our friends back there are flying the D2, which is why they're having trouble to keep up, even though I'm at 75% throttle. So we'll have to be careful. AAA in Rise of Flight is, as many of you know, incredibly deadly. It's basically radar guided. It can fire through obstacles, they can see through obstacles. They pay little to no attention to things like wind, and a single near hit is of course more than enough to tear the fabric from your dope wings and make very short work of you and your friends indeed. Alright, we have arrived at the bridge, and just on the other side of this point, let's see, on the right side of the river, so just under my nose here, basically in my gun sight, there should be targets. Or otherwise, near or around these bridges. I'm going to close the rads to half as we go into a slow or a gentle dive. Looking for ground targets that hopefully aren't well protected by AAA. See nothing moving on the bridges. And my friends decide to loiter at 6,000 feet. Well, we've arrived here, so I might as well go full throttle. Can't see anything yet, So what I'll do is I'll cross the lines here, across these bridges, and look for trouble. If I had some bombs, I'd blow the bridges just because. And also we'll do this. Attack ground targets. Well, this is fascinating and all. I really rather was hoping for something to shoot at. Even though, of course, I am delighted that there is nothing here to shoot back at us. I ask you, gentle viewers, do you see a railway station? Troop transports, maybe? And why are my friends hanging out up there? Is this another ill-conceived ruse from High Command to get rid of Vikram? Is that Lieutenant closing in on my 6 while his friends provide cover for a reason? You won't get me that easily. Has he been paid off? Was Oberleutnant Kalter's illness not an accident at all? Those are flying very, very close to each other. I am afraid. Well, I'll try not to weave too much then. Is that something down there? Here's a little tip for you if you ever play Rise of Flight in multiplayer, or single player for that matter. If you're ever tasked with taking out a convoy that is due to pass a bridge, take out the bridge. The AI will just drive straight off the convoy, straight off the bridge, and explode. That goes for trains as well. They can't stop. They follow their waypoints until they die. And die they shall. So you can wipe out the entire convoy or entire train by just taking out the bridge ahead of time. I mean, High Command might not exactly like that you blew up a bridge for no reason, but yeah, whatever gets the job done. I'm just going to make sure we're in the right area by turning this on and looking. We are indeed in the right area. Well, I suppose we might as well follow the course back. It's semi-low altitude. Couldn't find any ground targets, but there might be something to attack on the way. Of course I can turn that off now. As we head northwest, was it? West-northwest? Yes, indeed. That is a course that should take us straight across the aerodrome that used to belong to 13th Squadron.
And indeed, there it is. But as we saw last time, that airfield was firmly in our hands, and I doubt it's changed since then. So where exactly are we supposed to shoot ground targets? Squad mates are falling behind. Throttle down a bit for their sake. No ground targets here, right? Well, tell you what, I'll do a circuit here, then I'll turn back south and pick up my squad mates and see if I can find something further that a ways with some time compression. And if not, I'll meet you back here in about 4 minutes. See you in a little bit. Well, all the way over at the enemy airfield, north of Stenka there, I have found something in the way of ground targets, but I doubt it's our intended ones. Quite far from that mission target now. But in the interest of following our mission, we shall at least make a pass and try to ascertain their identity. They haven't fired on us though. But they are AAA. So this is a suicide mission. Well, he seems to be positioned largely inside a building. Oh, there goes a shot. Can I get some help from my friends, please? There is literally no reason for me to go and shoot at AAA. That will just get me killed, and no, I will not. Unless these chaps will also attack, I do not intend to risk Vikram's life willy-nilly just to put some action into this episode. They refuse to attack, so all the way back it is. And here we are again, as promised, back at the Squadron 18 headquarters. Well, it was hardly the most action-packed of episodes, but this was hardly the most action-packed portion of World War I, at least on the Eastern Front, so I guess that's appropriate. We will continue at our current heading at west-northwest until we reach the Milovana main road, at which point we shall divert to the southwest and go back and land at our aerodrome. I reckon Vikram will be pleased that they did not encounter anything. I don't know if his superiors will be, but what does that matter? They're not pleased with him anyway. All he cares about is that all those young men behind him manage to get home in one piece, although we shall quit the mission before they attempt to land, or they will all perish in the process. And all I care about is the fact that Vikram survived, and I didn't take a AAA round to the face. And so he lives to fight another day. Not what I expected for our 30th episode. Gee golly, we've been at this for a while, haven't we? 30 episodes. But to be fair, I believe our first episode was completely uneventful. So this is fitting in a way. And that would be Milovana, so we can start to head southwest. This is not a very long flight route, is it? Friends have dropped behind again. Might as well take a scenic tour, might we not? So I believe if we follow this river, we will end up back at home base. And so we shall fly along the river. And enjoy the sights. But high up once, wasn't it?
One day, Mickey O'Shea out in a trench somewhere, so brave, having a shave, trying to part his hair. Mickey yelled, dodging the shells and lumps of dynamite, thought of the crystal telescope and fireworks night. Take me back to dear old Blighty, put me on the train for London.
I still think this is a very beautiful game. No more medals and no promotions. It's hardly been a very lucky career in that regard, but it's been my longest running ever. Just so happened to be the first one I recorded as well. Perhaps that meant I took fewer risks. I don't know. He said while speeding along a river at treetop level. A bit annoying that that wing is in the way all the time. It's actually harder to keep it level than it is to navigate the river safely. It doesn't trim out very evenly. And here, just like most rivers, it just simply stops. It stops existing. And I do believe we can see our aerodrome over there. Rather nifty, isn't it? Hello, chaps. Oh, hello. What? Don't have to get that close. What is he doing? Is he still underneath me somewhere? I think perhaps I gave that order too quickly. And now we shall have to race them to the ground before they drive straight into the hangars. Oh, good golly, I love this game. Are they all under me now? Oh, sorry, I didn't see them. Yes, there they are. And we had a strong crosswind too, I believe. So let's drop most of this altitude. Side slip to drop some speed. Speed up to stay aloft, and then as we come in we gently cut back the throttle and flare, and it doesn't seem to be enough, so we shall have to go back up, I think, while our friends ram the hangar. Better safe than sorry, my friends. Better safe than sorry. Wait, is this not the right airfield? Have I been turned around by my... No, actually I'm at the right airfield and... Yes, we're all at the right airfield. They just choose to come in from that weird angle over there. It seems like I am about to fail my third landing attempt. Quite so. Because I am too eager to get home before they do. No, 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 you're coming in from the wrong direction. You're coming in from the wrong direction. Scatter! Scatter! Okay. Trying to make them reconsider their landing approach. But no, they are intent on landing into the hangars there. No, no, no! Don't! By Jove, please, no! Please don't! Beautiful touchdown into the hangar wall. There, capital. This man made it through somehow, and he will actually live to see another day. What about number 4? Ah, softly, gently into the hangar. Well, what can you do? AI would be AI, I suppose. And if I just make sure that I don't hit a hangar, like they did, I should be okay. What a terrible landing. I am sorry. I am sorry. It's been a while, and I'm terribly embarrassed. Not only did I wreck my own plane, but I also wrecked 2 AIs. Well, an AI and a half, I suppose. Happy 30th anniversary, Vikram. Happy 30th anniversary stream, channel, audience. And I suppose I'll see you next time. Maybe even tonight for some streaming, who knows. Toodle pip, and see you later.